VOD review of FireFury. I know his real name, Sam, who has climbed well over 1,000 SR since our Overwatch camp, which was about 2 months ago, I think, and he's kind of about 1,000 SR. He's in mid-silver. And we're going to be looking at this guy right here. He says he changes tanks a lot, so right now he's on Hog, but we'll figure it out from there. So, okay, so down in silver, there's not, and really down in like gold and lower, there's not really a huge need for compositional sense, because generally, even if a comp does make sense, you don't play it in the right style, generally speaking, or in the right position. So like, yeah, generally that's the case. So, but you're going Hog, so you're gonna try to play, I assume, this pit a lot, and then you have a Pharmacy, and then a Zarya, and then a Lucio, and a McCree. So a McCree is going to be the most vulnerable one. You could help him out a lot by like just kind of keeping an eye on him and make sure that if he gets dove or he gets starts getting focused, or whatever else, that you know, there's nothing too terrible happening with that.
4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Good skin, by the way.
Enemy contact.
Okay, so I would highly, just as a general rule, if you don't see anyone, I would highly recommend not getting too close to this pit. Like you walked this way, right? So like this area right here, if you don't see anybody, I would highly recommend not doing this. And the reason I'd highly recommend not doing this is you don't know if a Pharah is going to pop up and suddenly hit a concussion against this wall and boop you this way. You don't know if a Lucio is coming off this huge wall ride coming down, booping you this way. You know, you just don't know what's to happen. So avoid the mistake and sit in here. If you want to go in here, don't do this. Do this, right? Avoid the mistake. So this is something we call pathing. Okay. So this is something we call pathing, which is not something we went over in the beginners camp, which is understandable. But the difference between this and this is not a whole lot. Okay. The two main differences is this has natural cover through, let's just say like 97% of the path. It has natural cover. This has natural cover through like 10% of the path, right? So you can get shot a lot through this path. So this one's worse. The other thing is here, there's a 0% chance you're going to get environmental killed. Here, there's like a 90% chance you're going to get environmental killed if anyone can do it, right? Okay. So if you know, clearly one path is way better than the other. So make sure you're reducing, you know, reduce the amount of potential damage and the amount of potential catastrophe situations like being booped off the map that you're going to hit, right? And again, okay, again, that Mercy's already dying, and even if she doesn't die, the ability for you to kill her going straight down like that is not very likely. And looking down, the only way she gets out of that is if someone's right here and she flies to them, in which you can see that flight pattern. But you got right up close to a ledge and look straight down. And again, we've seen two people so far. We've seen their Mercy, and we've seen and we saw the Pharahs died. So and we haven't seen the Hog, and we've seen the Diva. So you still haven't seen like half the team, right? Because that's a misclick. We still haven't seen half the team. So again, like, avoid the mistakes, okay? This is something advanced players don't do. Let me show you another thing advanced players don't do. Look how long it takes you. Like, you're like, I got it, and hook. Just go, just do it. The longer you sit there and go, the more opportunity you have for the other player to do something where he knows you're going to miss. The more opportunity. You got to just do it, okay? You miss, you miss, okay? You miss, you miss. There's no getting around that. There's no other thing. You miss, but you got to do it. Like, look how long you just sit here and wait on it. So it's available now. Okay? It's like a full site. You like go back and forth. It's not quite as long as I thought it was, but you go back and forth a lot. And it's not great. Okay. Left click, not right click.
Let's get you that out there.
Are we like crouch walking sometimes?
All over me.
It almost looks like we were crouch walking for sure. Good predictions and timing. So on a but okay. So here's the thing. You're doing the hook combo really well. So the combo is obviously hook. They get reeled in. You're moving forward basically as they're being reeled in, or the moment that they stop being reeled in. You're moving forward. You left click, right, and then you melee, and that's usually 200 plus damage. That's a-okay. I would highly recommend not doing this against targets that you know this is not going to kill, right? So Reinhardt is 500 health, and part of that is obviously armor, right? So he's 500 health. So you know this is not going to kill him, right? The problem is a melee is a full second animation that cannot be canceled. It can't, right? So every time you melee, I guess Winston landing is technically a melee cancel, but there are very, very few ways to cancel melee, and Roadhog doesn't really have any. So every time you do that, sure, you're going to get this guy to, like, 300 health, because you have to include the armor, right? You're going to get this guy to, like, 300 health. But it's actually better if you don't do that. If you push in, hit him, and then jump to one side or the other, so maybe you can get another shot off behind, because he's gonna put his shield up immediately, because that's the natural inclination. Reinhardt gets hooked in. He's gonna get hooked in. You're going to shoot him once before he gets his shield up. He's immediately going to put his shield up, jump, and move backwards. So what you do is you shoot, jump, and move to the side so that you can hit him behind his shield, and then you start moving backwards if you're getting pressured. Now, if you're not getting pressured, then you can just jump to the other side and keep doing this, right? Because he's going to start flipping his shield to either side. And this is how you outplay a Reinhardt with a Roadhog, right? But this whole like melee thing after you think, that's great for squishies and things like that, but it's not going to work against like really big tanks, especially a Reinhardt with so much shields, so much armor. So just be aware of that. Again, like, you see the second hesitation every time. Get away from the pit. Get away from the pit. Get away from the pit. You don't know. You're really lucky you're not getting hit by the pit. Good recognition. Really good recognition of the boost being used way too close to the pit. He's not being aware of what's happening. That's the epitome of the Silver Reinhardt. Just don't hesitate on the post. Why? What is the possible reason? You're doing so well. You killed these by yourself. Where is he? You killed these by yourself. They have no tanks. No one on your team has gone down. And this Valkyrie has already been up for like a full, I don't know, second or two? Why? What's the reason behind this? Why whole hog? You've won the fight. The fight's over. You've won the fight. Not to mention that your Farah has also committed barrage to get a mercy. But you've won this fight. You're full health. Everyone's alive on your team. They're down both tanks. There's nothing. There's no point to this at all. Like there, you have the point, right? Like you're full health with. I think you actually have breather too. You're full health on point with breather. There's no major problems on the entire thing. Like they come to point, they're dead. Right? Like if you're trying to kill stragglers, but you do this blindly. If you're trying to kill stragglers, I'd be like, okay, there's like this ult goes from a grade of an F to grade of like a D- if you're trying to kill stragglers, right? But like you're not killing anything. You're not doing anything with this. And let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Is look, you just use it. You just go and then you literally here's the reason I know you don't know who this was aiming at. Is because you immediately did a 180. You were aiming in front of you, you ulted, and immediately went, there's no one there. 180. And there's still nobody there, right? And you aim at a Farah for a little bit, I guess. But there's no reason to do that at all. And this is a pathing issue. That's why you don't do that. That right there, if that was a better Lucio, literally if that Lucio was gold or higher, you're dead. Okay, that right there is why pathing's important. See, like you don't have scouting in there. You don't know what's in there. You're gonna do it again. You don't know what's in there. You don't know what's gonna happen. So don't take the risk. It's a risk versus reward system, right? Overwatch is entirely risk versus reward. Really, esports is risk versus reward. What is the reward of going this way versus this way? Nothing. I mean, literally nothing. What's the risk of going this way versus this way? Damage, environmental deaths. Actually, they have more cover. Because if you go this way, they could. You're not looking at them, so they can't back out this way. They can. If you go this way, they're like, oh, and they back out. It's a lot easier for them to back out because you don't have a straight line of sight down the middle, right? Because no one's backing out this way. Who cares what's over here? It's more like it doesn't know. Okay. You said ulting because who knows where people will be walking in silver. It's so unpredictable. No. Okay. This is the difference. Okay. There's a difference between unpredictable and bad. Okay. Unpredictable is a Tracer, a Sombra, or just anyone being able to pull off flanking, pull off off-angling, pull off their ults, pull off whatever they want to do, and the other team can't predict it. They can't respond to it well, and so you get value out of it. There's a difference between that and unpredictable being, I'm just going to whole hog because there might be someone somewhere. That's not unpredictable. That's zero value. Also, who cares if someone's behind you or on point, whatever? You have point. You have a full health hog on point with hook and breather, and both the enemy tanks are dead, so it's not like they can push anywhere. So if someone's on point, you kill them anyway. There's no point to that. There's no defense of that. So that's one of the things we need to try to fix.
Deserve this. Fire's will.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Farah.
It's a weird.
Justice reigns from above.
So you're going for the hard hooks, but the easy ones you're not. Have you noticed that? All the hooks on these Echo, Farah, Mercy stuff way up in the sky that are like impossible, like they're not possible, but are extremely difficult. You're great. You're great as far as not hesitating. You're like, bam, go for it, right? But all the easy ones, the Lucio that's not on the wall, that's right in front of you, you know, one of the tanks, whatever. It's like you almost have to line it up. Honestly, what it looks like is it looks like, and this will be a good clip if I can hit it, but I doubt I can, so let me just throw it, right? And then your ones are like, oh man, I really shouldn't miss these, and then you're like, now. You just always have the mentality of, you know, just go for it. You just need to go for it at all times. Okay? Hold up. Yeah, okay, and so this is avoiding mistakes, right? This is what I'm talking about as far as avoiding mistakes, okay? See, good hook. Like, you have the skill. So I'm going to stop the VOD review. It's going to be a short, I mean, it's 15 minutes, so it's not that short. But I'm going to stop the VOD review because I feel like, you know, we have enough information. I don't want to overload you, okay? So here's the thing. Here's what I want you to do. One, stop hesitating, okay? Stop hesitating. How do you spell hesitate? Hesitate. Stop hesitating, okay? Stop it. Either you have the skill or you don't. And if you have the skill, it will work. If you don't have the skill, if you're hesitating, you're not trying to improve on the skill. You're not trying to find what you can do better in that skill. You're just going, man, I don't have the skill, but I got to try. You got to go for it. Always just go for it, especially with like hooks. Like, you're not going to get value out of like cooldowns. You're not going to get value out of cooldowns if you don't use it. So just use it. Just do it, okay? Now, obviously, don't use it stupidly. But it's hook. Like, if you're going for, as long as you're not like hooking a wall, right? As long as you're going for a kill, use it. And you know, when you get to plat, when you get to diamond, we'll talk about using a hook a little bit better as far as like using it to cancel other people's abilities, using it to, you know, the correct target priority with hook. We'll talk about those things. But for right now, you just gotta stop hesitating and use it. You gotta use it, okay? 2, pathing. And this is a huge problem you're having right now. And I only really mentioned it on the environmental, but it's in all of it. you don't really care where you're walking. You kind of just move in whatever direction the enemy is, and you just keep moving in that direction, right? You're never resetting and saying, okay, I'm gonna go here so that when they come in, I'm gonna hook them off here, or I'm gonna hook and get a kill here. They're not gonna be expecting this angle. You're right. You're never like, oh man, okay, I'm gonna play this side of the hole instead of this side. You never went over here. Not one time have you gone to this side of the map yet. Not one time. You have stayed in this area the whole time. Okay. So pathing. Find opportunities to kind of do more with your person than kind of sit in one spot and just hit hooks, right? You do more than that. And the other thing is reduce damage and reduce the potential for catastrophic events like a death or environmental for a 600 health target. Reduce the problems with that by not, reduce the like risk versus reward. Why am I walking this way? Let's just go this way, right? There's a reason in high tier games, this is like the least walked area behind the grate, obviously. This is like the least walked area. You got to reduce that. And I think 3 is based on what you were saying in chat, mentality, okay? And I think this is a really big one as well, mentality, okay? It is not an appropriate response as a player. Like, disregard that you're saying it to a coach. No one cares. Like as a player, it is not an appropriate response to try to defend that whole hog by saying it's silver, it's unpredictable. Yeah, but it's bad. Like you're not going to get value out of that ever. You're never going to get value out of that. What you will get value out of is, oh, they're pushing really hard with like a Genji blade, or what do they have? Whatever echo copies, right? Or maybe the Reinhardt's pushing really fast on you guys, or you need to break shield for your high noon, or any other number of like really useful things for your whole hog you could have the ability to do, but you're not doing it. You're just using it randomly, okay? So the mentality of it's silver, I can do whatever I want, or it's silver, I have to do this because everyone's random and I might die randomly at 600 health, even though both the enemy tanks are dead, and I have to take a breather still, and I have natural cover, and we have the point, and it's a 2v6. See, it doesn't really work, right? So you did a really good job throughout this game. I mean, obviously, you guys got to 99 with no main tank, and you hooked both their enemy tanks off there. So you did a really good job with this, Sam. But the main thing that I have for you is you're looking to improve. You're in my Twitch channel. You're paying thumbs channel points to get personal coaching. You're doing VODs. You're doing all these things. That doesn't feel like someone that just goes, I just want to do whatever I want, right? I just want to be in silver. You've openly admitted you want to climb. You want to be in higher ranks. You don't want to stay down in silver gold area, right? So if that's your goal as a player, is to play up, plat, diamond, and above, you got to change your mentality and say, okay, what can I be doing better? That whole hog did nothing. Why did it do nothing? Oh, I didn't have a target when I did it. There was no purpose behind it. Okay, I won't do that again, right? That's the mentality. That's the constant mentality. And honestly, the not hesitating is also can fall under mentality of everything's faster the higher ranks I go. If I hesitate in silver, I'm not even going to get the hook off in gold, right? And I'm not even going to have the hook opportunity in platinum. And I won't even see them till I'm already dead in diamond, right? That's like the tier. That's how it goes. If you hesitate in silver, you're not going to get anything done in higher ranks. So don't hesitate, right? That's a mentality thing. Believe that you have the ability to climb and work on things, right? Actively work on things, okay? And we'll go over more in the personal coaching we're going to do tomorrow. But we need to work on these things actively, not just, who knows, right? I mean, if I walk this direction or this direction, does it really matter? Yeah, it does. All right, man. I hope that's helpful. We'll go over some more stuff